it's like I'm not sleeping.
Facts. Shout out to A1 Dunn on the beat. I'd like to welcome y'all to the LK Sport Podcast. On this episode, me and my dog Gmoney here go to the NBA playoffs. We've been away for about a week now. We had some other things going on. But other than that, welcome. Gmoney, what's happening?
What's up? Here we are, back again.
Yeah, man. It's been a little minute, man. You had the P's in town. How was it?
It was good. Spend some time, do some things, show them around Georgia a little bit.
Yeah.
Show them the A.
Hey, baby. Yeah, working, man. Work, man. Getting ready to get these kids up out of here for this year and making sure they're getting their grades and stuff like that, man. Just being a parent.
School year's almost over, right? So.
Yeah, we got 2 more weeks. So, yeah, 2 more weeks. And then the real chaos, they come eat you out of house and home.
And they're home all the time.
Yeah, now you got to make sure your pantry full and all that type of shit. And that's a whole nother problem. So, anyway, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics. Philadelphia series is currently tied 2-2. Philly took the last game in overtime, clutch 3 by James Harden. You want to take the wheel or you want me?
Yeah, Philly almost choked that game away. They were up by like 17 in the third quarter and then almost gave it away. And then Harden coming up big when he's, the couple games he's played well, they've won. Even the game without Embiid, they've won. And then when he's been dog crap, so is Philly.
Yeah, so plain and simple, from what we have seen to date, I mean, James Harden played well, Philly win. So let's break down the ons and off of James Harden in so many words. Okay, game 1, he gave us, 40? 45,
yeah.
In this game, he gave you 42 in game 4. Both games they won. What I did notice from him in the wins, he was a little bit more aggressive. Well, his shot was falling, obviously. Yeah. The 3 was falling for him, but it's like you can tell he's not that old James Harden. He had to get himself together. He got to amp himself up. Like, we getting to the guys we grew up in, the LeBrons, the James Harden, the Chris Pauls, the Kawhis, even the Kyries in his 30s now. All these guys, it's hard for them to come out every single night and just give 100% because of age. And I just think it's age thing with James Harden right now. I believe he want to do it. He can't finish at the rim like he used to. I remember when he broke somebody down in game 1 or 3 or whenever it was. Any other time with left hand dunk, it was just a nice little finger roll. I was like, yeah, James Harden getting up there. So.
Yeah, he's also it's weird because he's been there since last year or whatever. It feels like it almost feels like when like Embiid wasn't there, he was almost like more comfortable too. It's like he can't find that balance when Embiid is there. He did obviously a much better job in this game. And Harden's not always Mr. Even when in his good days, he wasn't always Mr. Efficiency, but he shot 16 from 23 from the field. So that's, if he can play like that, then Boston going home.
Boston the better team. Let's keep it G. Boston is the most complete team in this series. They have some would say they got the 2 and the 3 best player in this series. If you put James Harden, whatever, I would rank them Embiid, Tatum, Brown, Harden in that order. And then 5, it's a question mark if you want to go Brogdon or you want to go Maxey. But, all in all, if I had to go pick a team to go play right now, I would take Boston. Boston got to play well. You got to defend. And Boston,
they got to learn how to play defense again.
They played very good defense in game 2. It was actually kind of amazing. They teamed to slip, and I think something got to do with Mazzulla at coaching. Like game 4, he didn't call that timeout, and you get this crazy shot at the end. You gotta coach your guys up, and Boston showed all series they haven't not had the best IQ in those situations. You got to call the timeout, calm them down, get a play drawn up for your best player. In overtime, in the 4th, Jaylen Brown was on a pretty good tear, and he shot the ball 3 times total in the second half or something like that. I read. I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna go back on Philly because I'm not gonna take away from James Harden's shine right now. He's averaging 25 and 9 in this series. If you round up, he's averaging 6. He's shooting 40 from the 3-point line. 48 from the field. That's very efficient. It's hard. I'm pretty sure that you can manipulate the numbers with his good game, bad game to balance them out. But I mean, bottom line, Jaylen Brown, I'm hollering at you. If you're gonna win this series, you gotta put the clamps on James, and you're gonna have to score as well. I mean, it's kind of asking for a lot, but I mean, who knows? You might get Las Vegas Strip Harden, or you might get Houston Harden. So.
Yeah, I mean he's got to at least give you like the 25, like 25 and 10. Like he's got to do that, and with him, you know, and if Embiid's having an off day, then maybe he's got to give you a little bit more. But he's got to be more consistent. He can't be playoff James Harden. He's got to be regular season James Harden for sure. And the Boston thing, Boston is. I mean, Boston. And even in game, I mean, they don't. I don't know if it's the coaching. I mean, it probably is the coaching. Udoka was like a big time stress defense, and it just doesn't seem like they stress it there as much. And I thought even in game 2 with that game, I didn't actually. To me, I thought that was more just. It looked like Philly was just like completely out of sync, and that's what Embiid came back after missing 2 weeks, and they just looked like complete like out of sync, and then. Game 3 was like a little bit better, but yeah, no, I think they need it because they have the potential. Boston was one of the best defensive teams in the league last year, so they have all their guys play defense. Harford plays defense, and Marcus Smart was Defensive Player of the Year last year. Even Tatum and Brown, for like the superstar players, can bring the effort on the defensive side too when they want to.
One thing in a playoff series, Marcus Smart can't shoot 10 3-pointers, and he can't be getting the last shot in the game. I respect Marcus Smart game. Some plays I think borderline dirty, but some people call it hustle, which I have no problem with, and we need those guys on your team. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know about that shot. Marcus Smart.
Well, they got to get a shot off. They got to get a shot off too. I mean, he didn't even get that shot off. They had a chance to win the game there, and they didn't even get a shot off. And that's not a good look.
But all in all, I think it's a 3-game series now. And if I had my choice, I'm still going to take Boston to win this series. Like I said, I think they're the better team. But it's scary to be a Boston fan right now. If James Harden wheels up another 2 more 40-point games in these 3 games, one at home, say in game 6, and he got them drink some magic juice or some shit and come out game 7 and just turn back his hands of time one more time, who knows what can happen. And then from that game 6 to game 7, it's 3 days. So if it goes 7, they're going to have 2 nights rest, which benefits Embiid and James Harden by far because they're the older players here, and anything can happen.
Yeah, no, it certainly does. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I picked Philly to win the series. Partly, I mean, these are my 2 least favorite sports cities.
Right.
So I dislike Philly a little bit less than Boston.
Right.
At least in basketball. But I think Philly. I think Embiid. I think he needs to. I think he needs it. I think he's gotta rise up. Show that he's the MVP, and he's got to get them. I mean, he's
hurt. No,
he's still never been out of the second round. So,
and Doc's trying to manage his minutes. Some minutes that he used to be in, he's not taking them. He's trying to manage his minutes. I mean, 39 minutes right now with a tear in your knee or whatever he got going on is rough. And
he played 40-60 the other night.
Yeah, so it should taking a toll on Embiid. At the end of the day, I think if it does go game 7 and with those 2 nights off, that's another problem. If you get Embiid fucking around and have one of them great 45 and 20 nights, and he's just unstoppable, and you got to take that loss. And then again, on the opposite side, Tatum do for a 40-pointer. He gave you one this whole series? Nah, I don't remember. He had an awesome game last night with 18 rebounds or so, but you can't expect that every night. And then another thing with Boston, it's hard to play Robert Williams right now because when they put Robert Williams in the game, it clogs up clogs up the paint on offense. So Embiid can just take 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He can rest. He don't have to guard with Horford in. You got to guard that 3-point shot because Horford shooting an amazing percentage from the 3. So that it's a give and take in this game, especially now that you've seen each team 4 games. You got to go with what works for you. Like I said, when Tatum is off, you got to defer to Brown and vice versa. And then Brogdon had a great game in game 4, and you took him out in the overtime with 4 minutes left. When he had 5 fouls, he had 1 more to go. He was your 3rd best scorer yesterday. Yeah. Well, game 4, So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a chess game, but like I said, if I had to put my money on it, I'd take Boston.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't. I mean, I think they are the more roundabout team, but without putting money on it, I'm going to take Philly.
Facts. We can move on. Denver Phoenix, awesome series. If you want to see scoring, go to this series. Denver Phoenix is currently 2-2. If you watch the first two games, you would think Phoenix never had a chance. Then you go to game 3 and 4, the things that Booker and Durant is doing together right now, shooting with fucking 64 shots in between them in each game or something. It's amazing. Game 3 was kind of annoying for me. I think KD dropped up to like 39 threes. And it got it was like, whoa, like, okay, I get it. But he got to shoot that right now, especially with CP out. And that's another thing I'm going to speak on when it comes to CP, but
he's out. They ruled him out for game 5 also already, so.
What Booker is doing right now, and Jokic, we're going to talk about him as well, is amazing. If you watch a Booker, Phoenix Nugget game, it's pure efficiency. The pace, the passing, the shooting, the playmaking is what you want to see. I mean,
he's been ridiculous. I mean, he's been absolutely ridiculous. He's so efficient, like efficient, like I mean, usually guards don't shoot like this for stretches. Like he's on an all time kind of, like I said, like last night they were double teaming him and not double teaming Durant. Like it just, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, they're getting some bench support now, which they weren't getting in the first 2 games. And sometimes the bench guys play better at home. That's like a known thing. But I mean, Shamma gave him. He gave him like 19 last night. Like he had 12, hit 4 threes in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, he was on fire.
And Landale, like where did that guy went? Landale, where did this dude come from? He's like not scoring a ton, but giving them good minutes, playing defense. Like I mean, it's like they got Terrence Ross back into the rotation a little bit. TJ Warren, these guys were not playing like at all. And now they're getting like 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll see what happens. If the Denver guys will be better at home. They have home court, but yeah, I think this series is going a long way here.
Yeah, back on the Phoenix part, I hate to say it like this, but the best thing that's happened to Phoenix is Chris Paul getting hurt. They pace of play have went up. They half court. They don't have to what I'm trying to say, execute against Denver's half court defense with Jokic clogging up the paint. And it's smoother. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do when Chris Paul is healthy. If he get healthy for this series, it's hard. I don't know what you do with Booker running point guard right now, / Durant running point guard sometimes, with Booker going out for a spare for a minute, and then he can surround him with shooters and Shamet. Cameron Payne not really giving you nothing, but you putting these different lineups out there with Shamet, Ross, Warren, the guys that can put the ball in the hole. I mean, I don't know. Chris Paul is Chris Paul, Hall of Famer, but the slow pace is in Denver favor. If you walk the ball up the court and let Jokic sit in the paint, dictate Bruce Brown, Murray, Pope, that's what these guys do. They defend pretty good. That's what they do. Half-court defense, hard to score in the half-court defense every single time because they can set up the defense they want to run against your offense, and it's just multiple layers and things that way. But with the pace of play that they're doing with Booker getting the ball, Durant getting the ball in the rebound and going, it's rough on Denver and those guys trying to get back and defend them. And then on Denver side, what Jokic doing, amazing. Career high 53 points in game 4. Still had 11 rebounds. He had 6 turnovers, but I mean, he's trying to do a lot. He is the team right now. I mean, when Murray played well as well, gave you 28. So it's kind of hard. You scored 124 points, but you didn't defend well. You gave up 129, and you going against 2 of the top 10 players in the game right now. So, yeah, it's kind of hard. I
mean, defense is definitely not these 2 teams' strengths. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's the home. Like they always say, the role guys they always play better at home than they do on the road. But like, even getting a 53 and 28 from Murray, it kind of like for a while there, it just looked like they were all kind of sitting around watching Jokic. I mean, even Murray a little bit. I mean, it's hard to complain when the guy gets 28, but like in the games they were winning, they were getting more from Porter and Gordon and Pope and those guys, even Bruce Brown and different. But they just really not much from anybody else in these especially the last game. And the bench guys have to be better. They have to be better, otherwise.
Will we see Reggie Jackson in Game 5?
I mean, we've barely seen him in the playoffs. We've barely seen him in the playoffs. It's weird because you think he'd give you some offense. He could give for when Murray's not on the court, or even to give Jokic a little bit of a break. But I mean, I think you'd like to see him, but I'd say there's no guarantee that we do.
I'm just trying to figure something out to get some more blow in there because. But
I mean, but again, even the offense. I mean, the offense has not been the problem for them. So it's just a matter: can they slow down Booker and KD at all? And if they can, then they should. They said there's the same thing with the other. If it's a 3-game series now. They have 2 games at home. If they can take care of business at home, they'll move on. So, but. It's going to be. I mean, I think I picked Phoenix to win this series because of KD and Booker. But
right.
So I keep picking the teams. I'm rooting for Denver. But now it's hard to bet against KD. It's really hard to bet against KD, and especially when he's got Booker doing what he's doing too.
So Booker should take the lead. We should be scared of Booker, and then with the help of KD now. So how Booker's shooting is quite amazing. Like I said, if you want to see some good basketball, Booker is playing excellent basketball. He gave you 36 and 12 last game, 14 from 18 from the field. 5 from 6 from Trey, or 3 from 4 from Trey?
Yeah, 3 for 4.
It's scary as well if you're a Phoenix fan. If you don't get those type of games each night from those guys, you're gonna lose every night. So that it's like if them guys are off any little bit, it's just like we lost.
Yeah, it took KD and Booker going for a ton of points to win those 2 games. So yeah, we'll see if they can get more help from some of these other guys. But yeah, I think like I said, I'll go back to that. I picked Phoenix to win the series originally. I think where they're at now, I think Denver pulls it out. I've changed my mind. I think they end up pulling. I think they get 2 of these last 3 games, but not going to be surprised either way.
Can't change on them boys, man.
Can't change in the middle of the series. Imagine when you see how the series is going. I mean, it happens, right? You see the guys do it on TV all the time.
I got Denver getting it done though, winning each home game. I think go back and forth. I think Chris Paul going to try to make a hero play in Game 7 and come back and try to help these guys. And I don't think it's going to go well. Then they can blame Chris Paul, and then they can start this whole thing. And I'm telling you how this finna go. And Jokic going, like I said in the series, before the series started, they had nobody for Jokic. Aiden is getting really babied in this goddamn series. He really showed what Aiden can do, and Aiden's effort is, I don't know, he gave you only 8 points last game. I mean 8, what is he averaging right now? Let me click on see what he's averaging. He got a negative plus minus. He's averaging 15 points, 1 assist in this playoff, in this series, and he's averaging.
He's not doing much
at all. I can't even, okay, he's getting 10 rebounds in this series. Yay. So I guess he is kind of doing something, but
I mean, he's got to be out there though, and they don't really have much of a choice to keep him. I mean, unless they're going to keep Landale. I mean, he had 8 and had negative 13 in this game, and Landale was plus 13. So I think if that keeps up, you probably see a little bit more of him.
If this keeps up and they lose this series, Ayton wearing the Suns jersey next year.
I think so. I think with that contract, and he just re-signed. So I don't think there's really much of an option. Because you got to run. If Phoenix, they could always use the excuse that KD wasn't here this long. They just brought him. They got to run this back next year. I mean, will Chris Paul be there? That's a whole other story. But I think Ayton's back, and then you try to find those cheap veterans to come in and fill in around those 2.
Facts. Let's get to your guys, man. What you got on today? Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, the Brunson jersey's the only
one. You don't sign it.
I mean, we're down. I mean, you can't play. I mean, you can't play any worse than they did in that last. I mean, maybe that's a good thing then. If they can't play any worse than that. But This Miami team, man, they're frustrating as hell to play against. They are frustrated. They play deep. They got all these guys. What they say I read that article the other day. They're calling it the Knicks' 3 best players are all left-handed, which is unusual. And it was the lefties versus the undrafted. Because Miami has like 7 guys on this roster that play like real minutes that were all undrafted. It's like it's insane. Like Spoelstra needs to. I mean, the guys. I mean, it's hard
Amazing.
to. I mean, it's hard to not call Pop the best coach in the league because what he's done. But I mean,
currently,
Spoelstra's right there. He's got to be right there in the conversation.
Spoelstra's excellent. I said that from the jump. Like coaching in this level, grown ass men it's a whole different. It's a whole different ball game. You got to get a grown man to listen to you. You got to get them buy into what you're saying. They got to accept what you're saying, respect you, and it's just hard to do that when you at this level. And if you look at Spoelstra, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He got a big ass head with a big brain, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean it's as much managing egos and stuff as it is about exercise. I've always, I think I said this once before. I've always kind of thought that coaching in the NBA is slightly overrated. But when you have one of those guys, putting Spoelstra in those categories, it clearly makes a difference, and he's as good as there is. I'm not gonna say he's the best, but you really can't do any better than that. But yeah, at the Knicks, I mean, the big thing the Knicks do is Randall. Randall needs to.
Yeah,
I know he's been banged up, and I mean, he's been banged up, so he's playing through this bad high ankle sprain, but he still has to be better. He has to be better than this.
Yeah, when Randall plays well for the Knicks, they go well. I mean, you got to have him down there with Bam. He's always been a top defensive guy down there. Mitchell Robinson not giving you much. Then you playing a Hartenstein. I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, you got to have a big down there to handle business. And then if you go small with Randall, Brunson, Hart, Barrett line up, and you have Quickly or Grimes in there, it's been okay for you. But tonight, currently watching Game 4. You got no Quickly, so that's another scorer coming off the bench. You're losing points off the bench, and it's going to be rough for you going into Miami Game 4 and getting it done. It's a must win. I mean, if you got the heart, the will, and the heart, you can get it done. But you got to stop that man. Arguably, maybe right there behind Booker and Jokic. It depends what order you want to put him in. The best player in the playoffs right now. You got Jimmy Butler, AD, well, every other day AD.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to put him with every other day, but yeah, I mean, he was going before last night's games with Jokic going for all that, and that he was leading the playoffs in scoring. Right. Butler, I don't know if that may have changed last night with those, but yeah, you got to figure out something with him. I mean, I feel like he's due for a bad one, hopefully.
Yeah,
but
from what you've seen. If you can walk into Madison Square Garden and talk to Thibodeau, what would you say? Hey, boom, boom, boom.
To Thibodeau? I mean, I don't know what I would say to him. I might be like, give him a powder and freaking give Julius Randle a little slap in the face and be like, get your head out of your ass and start stepping up here. They just need more. Mitchell Robinson needs to be a little bit better. Generally, he brings the effort, but he's in that last round. He was just killing. He'd just be killing people on the offensive boards, and he needs to get back to doing that thing. Not getting in foul trouble. Quentin Grimes is back now, especially with no Quickly tonight. If he can give us a little something off I think he's starting tonight though. They're bringing Hart back off the bench, but if Grimes can give anything, or even if it's helping try to slow down Jimmy Butler, it would be huge. But I mean. And you can't let the other guys be. If Butler's going to get his, you just got to try to make sure you're not letting these other guys get off too. A Strus or a Vincent or something like that. But they're just so good defensively too. They're already out to a little 6-point lead here.
Another thing with Miami, Lowry. Let's give him some respect here. Lowry came through 25 minutes being very efficient, giving 10-plus points. He's rebounding, taking charges. He's been a great veteran for that team. He giving them some bench scoring. And I think we wrote him off. We wrote him off at the end of the season like Lowry's done. he had what it was, a quad or a knee issue. I can't quite remember what it was he was dealing with.
He was banged up.
Yeah, and he stepped up coming off the bench, and then Duncan Robinson, they give him 10, 15 minutes just to see if he hot. They bring him in, roll some plays for him, let him shoot it. If it's falling, we're going to play him 20 minutes. If not, okay, come on over. It's not your night to shoot. And Spoelstra was great at it. He get the guys in and let them play. And plus, you got to think, if you look at the Miami Heat basketball team, you got Kevin Love can stroke it. You got Strus can stroke it. Robinson can stroke it. Lowry can get hot on any night. This kid, Highsmith, who knows where he came from. If you leave him open, he going to stroke it. And then the pick and roll with Bam and Jimmy. If you don't go with the roll for Bam, Bam will dunk on you. I mean, I wrote them off in the Milwaukee series, especially after they took the loss to the Hawks in the play-in game. I was like, oh, okay, these guys don't want to play.
How'd they lose that game?
Who knows? But any given night. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know for you guys. RJ Barrett got to score. You got to have everybody score. It's got to be a team. Brunson, Barrett, Randall has got to score, and Hart and Grimes got to combine for at least 20-plus points to get you even a chance. And I think you got to find a nugget somewhere. Thibodeau got to go through that lineup. I don't know what you're going to do. You use the top and got to give you something. It's going to have to be a 9-player, 10-player people, everybody giving in, giving up their bodies, diving for loose balls. I mean, I'm looking at y'all team. McBride, why y'all don't play McBride to hassle? He's too small for Butler, but
he'll get some minutes tonight, I'm sure, with quickly out. Whenever when like Brunson wasn't playing, but he's not not. I mean, he can hit the three sometimes, but he's not. He's a defensive guy.
He can hold Vincent for 10, 15 minutes a game and give Brunson a little time. I mean, look at that, Duncan Robinson.
That was love.
Kevin Love. And remember, let's speak about Kevin Love real quick. I told you Cleveland's gonna miss that guy. He's just a vet. And that's another. You didn't see him in Cleveland. Now you see him. You got to guard him on the 3-point line. No matter how old you is, that shot never leaves you. And if you leave him open, look at that play.
That's what he does better than anything. Even he's been okay. He's been okay. He helps. I mean, he's obviously getting minutes now with some of the injuries and stuff. But he just always gets the best out of all these guys. Spoelstra, just like whoever he puts out there, it seems to work.
Scale of 1 to 100. How confident are you winning this series?
Can I let you know after this game? I'm like, I'm like 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50. Again, if we can, if they can win this game, and it's a big if they can win this game, we're basically back on serve. 2-2. We have, 2 of the last 3 games at home. Hopefully quickly comes back and, they can get it down. But yeah, I mean, I'm around the 50-50 mark. And that may be being an optimistic homer there a little bit, but we'll see. They're just man, Miami plays ugly. They play ugly and they make everybody else play ugly.
They make you play their style, and it's rough. And once you get into that style and what they love to do, and if you don't play your own, run your offense how you usually do, and you got to muscle up how they muscle up. You can't let them punk you out there. You got to push them back, and it's all about heart against those guys. They play with a lot of heart, and they play discipline, and they know what they want to do, and they go out and execute. And it's hard to beat a team like that.
For sure. And hopefully Randall, he's started 3 for 4 tonight, so hopefully he gets going. And RJ, yes, we do need something for RJ, but RJ's actually, since those first 2 games in Cleveland, those first 2 Cleveland games, he's played well. So now if Randall can get back, to doing his thing, hopefully they're down 2 now. I mean, 7 from Barrett early on, 6 from Randall, and 5 from Brunson. That's the right kind of pace we need to be at for those guys. So
true. Let's move to the maybe the most watched series in the LA and Georgia Southern. Excuse me, Golden State Warriors. Shout out to Southern. Hell, Southern, baby.
Georgia Southern West.
I guess you could say that too. But it's seriously currently 2-1 tonight. We're gonna try to we some working men. We're gonna try to keep an eye on it. But 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna make it exactly. So, AD, bottom line. Just like the Philly Boston series, AD plays well, LA wins. He doesn't every other day.
It almost
AD.
doesn't matter what anybody else does. Like if he plays well, like they win. If he doesn't, they lose. It's great. I mean, obviously LeBron's always going to do his thing, but yeah, no, it's.
I think they win tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out on a limb. I think they get it done. I think AD don't heard the every other day jokes and all this other shit, and being at home, being arrested in your own bed, and LeBron coming off the announcement of his son going to USC, and I think they get it done tonight. Plus, Warriors' terrible road record gonna bite them in the ass again. I think Lakers go up 3-1 tonight. I think LeBron and that locker room know how important the winning tonight game is, keeping home court advantage. And then they can kind of take it off. Game 5, come out, play. If it ain't going, sit them down. Get ready for Game 6. Back at home in L.A., Staples Center going to have all the stars. If it comes to a Game 6, I can only imagine how star-studded that arena's going to be. And I just think they go out and take care of business. Reeves hasn't played well. He's due. D'Angelo been playing well. Lonnie Walker got some play, and I think it did them some justice. All in all, I like that team, man. I think the Lakers come out and play. Win, be up 3-1. And Clay, and on the other side, I'm going to let you get your rocks out with them Golden State suckers. But Clay had that one performance and he ain't look the same. He doesn't have that same lateral movement that he been had coming off the injury. Green, if he gets in any type of foul trouble, that mess up the chemistry of the offense. And then I see Kerr trying to play Moody and those guys. You switch it over to Michael Green. It worked for you in game, 2? They adjusted to that as well. I mean, we're going to see what Kerr does tonight and see if he can make another adjustment. Maybe Curry comes out and give you 50-plus tonight, which is always possible. So, who knows? If Curry give you one of those games, I can see Golden State coming to L.A. He liked the sunshine. He liked the spotlight as well. So, but I'm going 3-1 Lakers. Going back to I keep saying Oracle, but it's Chase Arena.
Yeah, it's hard not to call it Oracle. It's hard. I mean, we always do Oracle, even though it's not even in the same city anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, everything points. I mean, the Lakers, with the Golden State's road record, although they won a huge Game 5 and 7 in the last series against Sacramento. I'm over Golden State. I've been over Golden State. I mean, they are 4-time champions. It's like the thing I keep saying. I'm not gonna bury him until they're dead.
Right.
I just can Clay. Clay had that game. Clay still with that shooting. Clay is just like I think I said this before. Like nobody gets hotter than Clay. Like when he gets hot all time, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy that can get as hot as he can get.
He gets scorching, buddy.
He gets scorching hot when he gets hot. So I think the series is far from over. I hope the Lakers win tonight. I hope I wake up tomorrow morning, check the score, and the Lakers pulled it off. But I said I just can't. I said like with your Patriots and Belichick and Tom Brady, those guys, I counted those guys dead. I don't know how many times, and they just the heart of the champion, that whole thing, the winners that they lost those first 2 games in Sacramento in the last series, and they moved on. I actually picked Golden State to win this series in 6. I don't know how well that's not. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, could they win 3 in a row? Maybe, but probably not. But I think they tie up the series tonight.
I'm gonna give a little bit more insight on how I feel about Golden State. When Green is playing well, guarding AD pretty well, pushing him out the paint, which I think is more mental of AD and they kind of friends and all that type of shit. And like I said, when Draymond is rebounding, assisting, and Clay is hitting, they're unstoppable. Because at the end of the day, Curry going to come out and shoot you 12, 13 trades, 5 or 6 of them may drop. Every now and then, Curry comes out and really poops it up. I mean, he's human. But he's been if you look at the numbers, he's been pretty good this whole entire playoffs. He not really gave you no real stinker. And
yeah, even the games he didn't shoot as much, he was distributing and stuff. So like the Clay game there.
Yeah, and then game 2, I know with the JaMychal Green, that's something that they had to adjust to, which actually worked for them. And then, like I said, game 3, they knew what was coming. Looney getting back healthy. I think Looney got sick or something. So Looney getting back in it. So that's another chess game that Curry going to have to play when I play JaMychal Green, when I play Looney. You can't really play them at the same time. And it's just a lot. It's going to be tonight. We're going to see if Kerr can really coach, to me. See what Kerr really going to go out there and do, put together.
He gets a lot of credit, so we can see if he can he figure it out. Like you said, and we'll see. And AD, can AD do it? Can he do it in back-to-back games? That's a whole other thing. I mean, this is the what were they saying? This is the longest. He's played like 21 games in a row now, or 22. Right. It's the longest stretch he's had since the bubble year.
True.
20 in a row, which is just crazy. So I mean, I don't, maybe he's saving something in a little bit because he can't do it every game. And the crazy thing is, it feels like AD. So I was talking about this the other day. It feels like AD has been in the league forever. He's 30.
Yes,
he's 30. He's not like 35. He's not 38. He's only 30 years old. Mm-hmm. But
he's technically they like I say he's the next 5 years future. He's gonna get another contract with those guys and. They're gonna try to get him.
And we've seen it. I mean, he's a top. I mean, he's when he's playing and doing his thing, he's like a top 5 guy in the league. Like he's
right,
especially because he does it on both sides. He's so good defensively too. But can he? But you can't call him a top 5 guy because he doesn't do it all the time.
Right, just like Kawhi.
Yeah,
I mean, those two guys, they was healthy for 70 games in a year. They would be NBA 1 players all day, night in, night out. But
yeah, I mean, AD has been all NBA plenty of times. You know what I mean? He might still make it this year because he actually played like 50-something games this year. Right. So,
but the key thing for the Lakers, AD gonna do well, which we obviously know, and James gonna do what he got to do. But end of the day, if Russell Reeves, what's the guy named Rury, and Schroeder give you anything. I mean, it's hard to beat the Lakers right now. If they give you anything, Vanderbilt, especially if Vanderbilt hit 1 or 2 of those corner threes that they leave him wide fucking open. I'm talking about, I've never seen the disrespect. Well, Draymond Green in the past years, and Rondo, when he was in Boston, the amount of space they give these guys to shoot their 3, and they just dare him to shoot it. And if he strokes a couple of those and get his confidence up, they're definitely hard to beat. And like I said, when they gave Lonnie some minutes. Lonnie came in, gave him 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. And then Rui helped them in their first series scoring, came out and had a great. And he on and off here lately. I mean, we all knew that wasn't going to be a trend, but
it's amazing what they've done with that team. Like the matter, like 2 months ago, you would have been, or however long, maybe 3 months, you would have been like, this team's gonna maybe get in the play-in, whatever. Now we're like talking about them like winning the West and stuff. It's amazing how quickly it turned around by just making a couple.
Shout out to Rob Pelinka, man. He did a great job, bro.
He did. It's just like, why didn't you do it a little bit earlier? Why didn't you do it a little bit earlier?
I think it was timing. Maybe it was the timing of everything, but I'm looking at this sheet of their losses. When Thompson not hitting his threes, man, it's rough. 5 for 14 last game. Well, Kerr was 9 for 21, which is not very efficient at all either. JaMychal Green only gave 11 minutes, so you gave up on the JaMychal Green experience. Then
right quick.
Yeah, so Devchenko been decent for you. He didn't play well last game. So, and Poole, I call my boy Jordan Poole L.A. Fitness. He played like he at L.A. Fitness every single time he get on the court. He seems to have no control. He just won't shoot a tray.
He's always an X factor too, because when he goes off, they usually win. So,
but game 1, him, Thompson, and Curry hit 6 trades and lost, and to me that was a sign. Like, okay, if all these guys get you 20+ points and you still lose, it don't look good. So, but
liking this pace in the Knicks game right now. They down 1 at the end of the first, but 31-30. That's a
go Heat.
That playing at that pace, I think, favors the Knicks rather than the Heat. The Heat don't want the game in the 120s.
I think a Heat Celtic would be a great Eastern Conference Final.
Sounds awful.
But I like if the Knicks make out. I love it for you, and I love it for the city of New York. I can know they can be some obnoxious fans. And
New York, Boston's always fun. New York, Philly, New York, Boston. Those are 2.
Yeah, that'll be
either one that's great rivalries. So.
But I'm rooting for y'all. I be teasing you and shit. But
yeah, no,
but I hope y'all win it because for the simple fact, like I said, New York haven't been there. Y'all had a little run that Trey and them stopped y'all on to get to the Eastern Conference Final with y'all. I think y'all had a decent team. Y'all was
first round. You beat us in the first round.
Yeah, and I thought y'all had a decent team that year. So if y'all can get it together around and get this ankle, I think if you say your lineup outside, I know we don't got off the Lakers, so we pretty much touched on all the series. But if you say your lineup out loud, Brunson, Hart, Barrett, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, quickly off the bench, Grimes off the bench, Hartenstein. I mean, it's formidable. If you know basketball, if people that don't know basketball, like who are that? Who?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially because I don't think anybody really fully saw this coming from Brunson because of what I didn't expect this year. I saw Brunson. I like Luka, so I followed Dallas a little bit. Like I said, this is like he's maybe signed one of the best contracts in the history of basketball. Like one of the great free agent signings because how cheap. I didn't see this coming from him. And he's the big time, the clutchness. I'm not surprised about, but you saw that from him in college. But like, yeah, it's really exciting, and hopefully we can keep this going. Hopefully, in the next, and then wherever this ends this year, it ends, and then hopefully the next unhappy superstar. Giannis wants to come to New York. Maybe that would.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I can see Giannis in New York. It would be fun.
Oh, don't even tease me.
It'll be fun.
Don't even tease me.
It'll be fun. Really, it would be.
Honestly, it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. It would be a ton of fun.
Him and
Brunson. Woo.
Any type of talent like that go to New York, I would literally buy a ticket, fly to New York, and spend how much it costs to sit down in there? $200.
If you want to sit up all the way up top,
$200 all the way up there.
Maybe. If you're scalping a ticket, yeah. I mean, New York, Madison Square Garden, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's so hard to go to. Even when they're bad, the tickets are expensive.
I never knew. Well, I never been.
Yeah, and when they were bad, if they were playing some crappy team, you might be able to get tickets up top for cheap. But it's like going to Broadway or something like that. It's like even when they're bad, you go to a Knicks game, front row, still all the New York celebrities and stuff like that. So not too similar to L.A.
Right.
Just the real fans in New York, though, not like L.A.
So Miami, New York, you think it's going to be 2-2 tonight? Well, I think it's going to be 2-2 tonight going into Game 6 and then make it a 3-game series. You say you feel 50-50. I think that y'all have the better team. If you can just somehow, bought up Jimmy Butler just a little bit, I mean, I think y'all have a chance. But then again, like I said, the best coach in this series is Eric Spoelstra, and then that's not a take light from Tom Thibodeau. He's been doing this for years. So on this series, for you, I'm gonna take y'all 51-49% because, like I said, I think it's gonna go to 7. I think. Yeah, I mean,
if we pull this one out, it jumps up to like 70-30 for me. But at this very moment right now, when we're down by 3 in Game 4,
it's early, man.
50-50.
Yeah, it really starts in the 4th if it's within 10 or so. The game
for sure
get going
for sure.
L.A. Lakers GSW, I think it's 3-1 after tonight, Game 4. I think Lakers win it in 6. Any objective?
I mean, I just don't want to. Can I just be like maybe? I just don't. I just don't want to pick against Golden State because whenever I pick against them, it's like I said, it's like how you speak.
Thank you. Yeah, just be quiet. Just be quiet. Boston, Philly, 2.
Lakers in 5.
Fuck, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Honestly.
No, wait. No. What am I talking about? No. Golden State in 6. I gotta. Because if I pick against them, they lose. So Golden State in 6.
Boy, if you don't get
Golden State in 6. I'm helping in here. This is what you want. This is what you want me to say. You want me to say Golden State.
Whatever. I get what you're saying, but what you got in that quick trip, Cole?
Some Code Red.
Yeah,
I needed some caffeine. Too much sugar for me though.
Boston, Philly is currently tied 2-2. I think Boston gets it in 7. I think they swap it out right now. Boston get 1 at home. Philly get 1 at home, and they go to a pivotal game 7. 2 nights rest. I think maybe we get to see one of the best games in this playoffs if it happens like that way. And I'm going to take Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, and those guys in Game 7.
Sorry, I was just wincing at the game. I'm gonna go a little bold here.
Yeah,
Philly in 6. They can win the next 2 games and close it out in Philly.
You sure you said that Cold Red or cocaine? Fuck you got going on. But hey, anything can happen. I don't see anything can happen. Then we got the Denver Phoenix series, which is, like I said, if you want to see some efficient basketball and some 3 of the greatest players in the game right now, you can watch that series. But I got Denver in 7. Like I said, they're going to keep swapping it out. Yep. Like you piggyback off what you said, role players play at home. better. You got your Porters, your Caldwell Popes, and your Bruce Bowens, and those guys, Aaron Gordon. They play better at home. They get to sleep in their own comfy king size beds, be with their girls and their kids, and it's comfortable. It's natural, and they win Game 5. Phoenix win Game 6. I say Chris Paul try to come back Game 7 and kind of hurts them and slow their pace,
Mushes them.
Yeah, and Denver wins.
I also like Denver in 7. That's why they made a good reference in the game the other night. It was like they're like it's almost like watching an all-star game.
Yeah, sort of.
With a little bit of defense.
Yeah.
At least they're trying to play defense. But it's almost like it was the way these teams just go up and down and score. It's you got to if you're Denver though you need to lead. Because I do not want to be in a one-possession game against KD and freaking and Booker because the chances are they're going to score. So, but yeah, I agree. Denver, no road team wins a game in this series. It goes 7.
Facts.
And Denver takes it.
All right, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We got a little time left here. We ain't quite made it to an hour. I appreciate y'all for checking us out here. Let's go a little baseball right quick, man.
Do we have to?
Yeah, man, your Yankees not doing well right now. And my Braves are doing phenomenal. It's currently 24-11, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to get everything.
Man, if we were in your division, we'd be in second place.
Yeah, our division is sticking it up. The AL East is Rays, Orioles, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees is bringing up the caboose. 10 games back of game of the lead there. We 35 games in. Well, it's currently, 20%-ish of the league of the season right now. You're currently banged up hitters. You got Harrison Bader back there. Your pitching hasn't been the worst. I mean, you just got to get it together, get Stanton back, get Judge back, get some chemistry built up there. Maybe y'all can creep back up. I think Boston maybe keep it up, but I'm not sure. But
and we've given up the second least runs in baseball. But we're scoring. We're scoring like really. We're not scoring.
It's 140 to 137.
Yeah.
So that differential is not going to win you many games. So, and like I said, Tampa Bay, they came over. They won 14 straight, wasn't it? 13 straight.
I think 13 off the bat. So
yeah, and they 15-7, which is still great. In the next 22 games, they currently doing pretty well. 800%, 80 percentile. Orioles is a surprise team in that division. They playing great ball, though. Young studs in Gunnar Henderson, and Adley, and Santander, and all those guys. And now pitching, and they got a plus 29 differential. I mean, they're really scoring the ball. I mean, they lost 2 because they just played the best team in baseball.
2 close games.
They lost.
2 close, but they were close. They were close.
They lost.
They were close.
They lost.
They swept.
They lost.
You swept them.
They lost.
You swept them.
They lost.
You swept them.
They lost.
Did you sweep them?
No, 2-1. But I watched those in and out of my busy weekend with the babies and the kids playing their own sports. But I tuned in. Orioles not bad baseball team, guys. Listen, if you're a Baltimore fan or you want to jump on one of those old bandwagons, Baltimore, even though it's a tough division, they play good baseball. They coach pretty well. I mean, I didn't expect it.
They're up and coming. I mean, it's like I said, only about 20% into the season. So let's see if like them and the Red Sox can the pitching hold up?
Sure.
But again, I mean, we've seen teams have hot starts and cool off. But I think it's clearly clearly the deepest division in baseball. I don't think anybody's gonna really. I don't think you're gonna see anybody going. I don't think anybody's losing nobody's losing 90 games in this division probably. So
thanks. AL Central got the Twins, Guardians, Tigers, White Sox, Royals. Let's go back to AL East. I got Blue Jays on mine. I got them over 90.5. Currently on pace to make it, so I'm looking good. Anybody else in the AL East that we have on our bets? No?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. AL Central, we got Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago White Sox, and Kansas City only won 9 games so far. I don't know what's going on over there in Kansas City, but they got a minus 66 run differential. Not even the worst. Oakland's bringing up the caboose at minus 124.
Oakland's so bad.
Yeah, that city's going to Las Vegas very soon. And if they're going to play like this, I'm very happy for them to leave Oakland.
Can I switch one of mine to the Oakland under?
I think all of us want to write that shit on there. But you have Minnesota over 84.5. They on pace.
Yeah, no, they're right there. They're in this division is stinking it up right now. So if the rest of them can keep doing that. And I don't know. Detroit needs to start losing some games for you, though.
Yeah, I got Detroit on the 68.5 there. They 15. They just before they lost the other day, they had beat a pretty good team. They had took the series win. I can't think right now, but
they beat the Mets. I think
Mets.
They
took the series from the Mets.
They swept the doubleheader, and they
took 3 out of 1 from the Mets, and they beat Verlander coming back. So. Well, I don't know what's going on with them folk, but Chicago White Sox stinking it up as we kind of alluded to in the pre-MLB ranking, MLB pod in Kansas City, man. Who knows what's going on? We thought they'll be a little bit better than that, but this is just terrible, 9-26. Are you even trying at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they'd be bad, but they're being. I mean, again, it's only 35 games in, but they're really bad. So
AL West Rangers at the top. Somebody predicted that. I didn't predict them. They got the Angels, Mariners, which we all thought would be better, and Houston Astros. Then you got Oakland bringing up the caboose as a punching bag in that division.
Yeah, I have the Mariners, which is like, I mean, it's not. It's still not. I mean, again, it's still early, but it's not. I mean, they've been really. I mean, they lost Robbie Ray for the season too, which doesn't help. They keep every time it seems like I'm like, obviously I'm following. They get a little hot streak. They win like 4 in a row, then they lose 4 in a row, and it's been frustrating.
The last 2, I believe.
Yeah, they've won. They were back under 5 after like a 4-game winning streak. Then they lost like 4 in a row, and now they've won 2 in a row. But I mean, it's a long. At least they just got to hover around that 500 mark and then catch a run, hopefully. But that division.
Astros gonna catch fire. They're gonna get.
You would think. I mean, you would think
those guys back.
I mean, the Angels are a little bit. I mean, I know people always. I feel like people pick the Angels every year, but they're playing good baseball now. And I think Texas. I mean, if
Trout and Ohtani playing good baseball.
Yeah, I think Texas. I mean, Texas. I guess if they got any pitching, we thought they'd have a good shot. But yeah, Trout and Ohtani are decent ball players.
Yeah, they really carry them team. I seen a stat. They scored like 5 of the runs or 6 runs in a game and they lost. Like, what? They did the only scoring in like 25% of the games, literally. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to look. I mean, they're plus 12 right now. So usually when you're like that close, I mean, it's still early on, but that's not a recipe for winning. I mean, the Rays are plus 115 already. I mean, the Rangers are plus 85, so it's pretty good.
National League, Braves 24-11. You got the Mets 17-18, and you got Miami 17-18, Philly 16-19. They got a boost with Bryce Harper coming back to hit for them, and you got National bringing up the caboose at 14-20, which I got them winning in the 100-loss club, and it's not looking good
They're
now.
They're playing a little bit above them.
Yeah, they did well. They've been doing pretty well too, but I mean, end of the day, it's about those Braves in that division.
I think they'll lose still. I think you'll be all right with the Nationals, though.
I hope
they'll get there.
But the Mets, man, let's talk about them. What you think? What's going on? And before you answer that, I want to ask you another question. I seen it on Twitter. Do you think Matt Scherzer has been cheating all those years? They said with the rosin, water, sweat thing.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. He's been so good for so long. I don't want to say that's the only reason why.
True,
you know what I mean?
True.
The guy's a bulldog and stuff. So I don't like. I don't like calling guys that aren't like Astros or Patriots cheaters. I just don't like really doing that. Like, it's just not my.
Thank y'all for joining the LK Sport Podcast. On this, go ahead.
No, I don't. You know, I mean, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? Either. There's that old adage too. I mean, the little things like that. I mean, maybe. I mean, he's getting old too. He's getting old too. So maybe he's just slowing down. He is almost 40 years old. It is. Guys do sometimes that. Like they said, sometimes that cliff just like you don't even see it coming. Just like boom, it happens. So. I think it's more likely something like that. He's not healthy. He's just getting old than it was that he was just cheating all these years. So,
yeah,
I think somebody would have caught on to it by now, before now, that was the problem. So,
yeah, true. But, winners win. Atlanta Braves winners. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Even unhealthy, we just getting Denard back. We just got Harris back. Kyle Wright just went on IR.
We know the Braves are good at winning divisions. We know that. It's the other part, that comes after that.
We just won 2 years ago, my boy. When the last time the Yankees won?
It's been a minute.
More.
09.
Yeah, 14 years.
It's been a minute. It's a long time for the Yankees.
We're going back this year. Facts. But I like our team, honestly. even with us being on and off, Olsen in well, like I said, it's early in the season. Just pray for good health. And I think with a healthy squad and how things are going, and Ozuna picking up the bat, has he been doing lately? What was a wild card, if you go back and listen to the MLB pod, I said if Zuna or Rosario give us anything this year, our lineup is deadly.
Yeah, I mean, we said it in the preview. The Braves are stacked. Like they should be good. I mean, you know, it's gonna come down to the postseason. You know, who gets hot at the right time and pitching and all that kind of stuff. But you'll be there. You'll be there. I mean,
Facts.
Obviously crazy things happen, but with this start and things like that, I mean, the Braves are just too good to not be in the playoffs, and it's just gonna be a matter of what happens once you get there.
NL Central: Pirates, Brewers, Cubs, Reds, St. Louis, Cardinals bringing up the caboose.
I mean, the Pirates. I mean, I think they've lost a couple games in a row now, right?
7.
They've lost 7 in a row now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they'll finish below 500.
Yeah,
that team will finish, but that was one of those, like, they're not. I mean, like, even like we saw, Baltimore's had this great start, and they may come back down to the field too. But like, I would be less surprised if Baltimore stayed good than I would be if, you know,
so
if the Pirates did.
So the Pirates. Well, I don't need to answer this question. It's a Pirate-Cardinal question. Will the Cardinals get it together for the Pirates lose X amount of games? So the question I'm trying to ask is...
The Cardinals will finish with a better record than the Pirates.
Basically.
I think so, yes. I'm saying, I think they will. And it's a big... I mean, it's 9 games right now. So it's not... I mean, over the court, they have 128 games left. So, yeah, I think they... I mean, again,
which is more surprising, the Pirates' current record or the Cardinals' current record?
Probably the Cardinals.
Yeah, me
probably
too.
The Cardinals. The teams can get hot, have a good start to the season. We've seen it. We've seen teams have epic bad starts to the season and come back and turn around and win the World Series. So we said, we were talking about before the pod, the Braves, the year you guys won it, you guys had a really bad first half of the season. The year the Nationals won the World Series, they were like really bad that year. They were like 10 games under at one point or something like that. But so it's definitely said baseball. The baseball regular season is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So and that's why I just have to hope that that my team can get healthy, get their act together, and and start playing some better baseball.
Yeah, man.
Especially because you want to try to.
Not playing great.
You want to try to I mean. The Rays have obviously had this great start. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. We saw with the Yankees last year, and they squeaked out the division. But like the new structure too, you want to win your division. Although it's funny because ended up getting like the wild card teams ended up doing well last year. But it's really it's a big advantage now with the way they've set up the playoffs now to win the division.
It is. It's great to just win. I mean, bottom line, go out and play every night and win. I mean, if you get, majority of the teams get the first 2 win. On that third game, they might play a couple role players to rest some of their players. But I've actually been pretty proud of Snick. He's been keeping Olsen, Riley, all those guys constantly in the lineup, not sending them on Sundays. But I'm pretty sure as the season go along, you'll start resting them on Sundays, some back-to-backs and double headers and things. So right now we taking care of business, and I love it.
And then in the Central, we had Pedro take the Cubs, which was over like 76. So they just if they finish, they're 500. So they're still they've cooled off a little bit too because they were they were above 500. And I had the Reds who were they're right about there. They've cooled. They had a better start than expected too, but they're cooling.
Will Votto be out that team at the end of this year in his career?
Votto?
Yeah.
I mean, he's stayed there this long now. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at. I don't know how he's. I mean, I feel like he's not quite the player he was. So I don't know if he has that kind of value right now. So I think he probably does.
I mean, the Cubs to be 17-17 have a plus 46 run differential. That's weird.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
God bless. Thank you. But that's kind of weird. But they finished it up in the West. You got Dodgers, Diamondback, Padres, Giants. Rockies bringing up the caboose. Dodgers 21-14. Diamondbacks in 19-15, and the Padres just lost 2 straight to the Dodgers. They bring them at 18-17. They got Tatis back. They got their team together now.
They've definitely had a disappointing start though, especially because the Dodgers, who are now playing better baseball now, was with the way the Dodgers started, you had a chance to try to maybe build a little bit of a lead, but they're, Padres have the same record as the Yankees.
Yeah.
And they've had basically everybody but Tatis. So
Right.
they've definitely a little bit, much like the Yankees, very disappointing. And I think Pedro has the over on them right at 90.
Right. 96, 93 and a half. They really not on par right now. And he got Mets 94 and a half over. So
Yeah, both of those are.
my guy, you're not looking good right now.
He's going to love wearing that Yankee jersey.
Hey, I'm telling you something. I don't eat.
I will gladly pay for dinner if he gets to wear a Yankee jersey. I will gladly pay for dinner.
But other than that, man, we're going to get ready to wrap this one up, man. Best of luck to your Knicks.
Thank you.
Best of luck to my dog, my Hawks out. So my boy LeBron, them tonight, game 4. Braves keep on a good tear. Yankees can try to turn it around.
They got Oakland. We start Oakland series with Oakland tonight. So hopefully,
Oakland
if you
can't,
can't,
2 out of 3.
if you can't get healthy against Oakland, you might have to start thinking about some stuff.
Y'all up 2-0 right
they're
now.
up 2-0 already with a couple runners on base. So
No.
oh, that's Oakland. Oakland got 2 guys on at the top.
Let's go Oakland.
Got Nestor the molester on the mound tonight.
Oh my God, I like his little jiggy shit. I mean,
Even
it's cool.
Cole finally gave up. He had been like the best pitcher in baseball.
He's been one of my prize pick guys. Got them Cole been giving me some money on prize picks, so I like him.
He's been solid until yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't have. I didn't take him yesterday, but thank
He
God
was
I
due
didn't.
for one. He was due for one.
Right, true story. So you know how we do it here, man. We end on positive. It's been a week here. We haven't seen each other. I mean, glad to have you back.
Same. Glad to be back.
For sure, man. And we already know, man. Just keep it going, bro. That's what we're gonna keep it short and simple today. We're gonna catch the rest of this Knicks Heat. What's the score right now going into the half?
It's not quite halftime, but the Heat's just extend. They're up 10 at the moment.
Yikes.
They're up 10. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, it ain't the end of the game, but keep it positive, man. Keep positive, man. Me personally, I had some things going on lately. I just feel like some different spirit, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to give up. We're going to keep going. We're going to strive. Coming soon, Lord's will, man. This whole setup look different in the next month, man. I've seen some things on the internet. I've been scrolling, man, and we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to prosper, and
Work hard, play hard.
yeah, that too, man. I'm gonna try to take us some trips, man. Try to go to some of these settings, and we're gonna start doing questionnaires. I got a little mic. I didn't tell you about that. I got a little thing, yeah, man. So we can go around, ask some questions. Gonna give out some merch. We got some merch printed up as well. What else? Am I missing anything? Different settings. I already said that. We're gonna try to travel a little more. Facts, man. Always
Spread the word.
Yeah,
subscribe,
share, listen to us on Apple Music.
If you're
Spotify,
listening
your
and
car.
you're not subscribing, you got to.
Yeah, man, I got over 1,000-something friends. I know all this algorithm shit that Zuckerberg and all those does that really it messes with your stuff, man. But in the end of the day, man, be humble, live humble, stay humble, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful you tuning in to the LK Sport Podcast.